That's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everybody. And I thank you to my team that are here, Anzani, Milan, and Tumelo. Hello, team. Good afternoon. Anybody?
Good afternoon, Dr. Ross.
Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, Marina. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. Excellent. All right. Marina's here. Tumelo, good day.
Hello and happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too. Excellent. And Anzani, hi to Anzani.
Hi again.
Again. And Milan, hi Milan, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Dr. House. I'm well. Hope you're well too.
Good, very well, very well. So this is the team from the UNISA Science Engagement Center. We distributed today. We are in various venues, but we're still working as a team, and it's always good to have the team. So welcome to the team, and welcome to every one of you who's joined us. If I look down the name of the list of participants, I recognize some names, and I recognize some new names and some not so new names. And then, of course, there's some names that I've never seen before, but you're also very welcome. So today and tomorrow and then Thursday, we are going to unpack the virtual gear competition. And it's found on the M3 MOOC portal of UNISA. And so I've got two presentations for today, really understanding and unpacking it. And then we will leave sufficient time at the end. And if there's anybody that maybe needs a little guided tour of how to get or how to access the resources, we're happy to show you around. I know Tumelo is also very keen to show you around where all the resources are available. But it's exciting because we have now a new competition. And I see also Sylvia is on the call. Sylvia is good to answer all technical questions because she usually referees the matches. And so on the one hand, we're going to explain the virtual gear competition and what it entails. And on the other hand, we're going to explain how this all fits together in robotics and how we're going to use term 2 to play a robotics match, to have actually participate in a competition. Sadly, we had no entries for term 1. So in term 1, there were no winners because there were no entries. But there are various categories, and I'm going to go through that as well. There are various age groups, and we're going to go through that as well. And so it might sound a bit confusing, and it might sound that it's overwhelming, but nonetheless, you are very welcome to join this discussion. All right, indeed a discussion, and we're going to leave lots of questions and answers, and there's a chat available, so you can add the questions, and my team are going to monitor the questions, and we're going to open for questions and answers, and you're welcome to ask your questions. All right, so let's just start and kind of just set the scene for the competition. So the virtual gear is an online competition. It's available on the M3 MOOC portal, and there are 4 categories, and the 4 categories for local. Local is if it's a primary school team that has never participated in a competition before, and they are using either the Spike Prime robotics kit or the EV3 robotics kit or the NXT robotics kit. Okay. Then we have global, and global is for high school learners or primary school learners that have already participated in at least one robotics competition using the Spike Prime or the EV3 robotics kit. Then we have the open category, and the open category is for all ages. There's absolutely no age limit. There's also no limit on what robotics kit you use, and there's also no limit on the programming language that you're permitted to use. So really, the sky is the limit for that category, and we're really looking forward to having some entries in our that open category. All right, and then we've added a 4th category. We started it this year, and we are really encouraging our grade 1, 2s, and 3s. If you're using the WeDo kits or the Spike Essential kits, you too have a competition, and so that is then the the virtual gear mini competition. All right, so those are the age categories, and you can register your team. We have four kind of seasons or four competition periods, and each one is a link to the terms, and all entries received as on the day of the days that the public schools close. We take all those entries, and that's for the term, and then we will publish a leaderboard. But I think as we go along, and I'm looking at Sylvia, I haven't discussed it with her, but as we go along, we will be refereeing competition. So we'll let you know who's ahead at all times. And of course, you may enter another time. There are no limits to the number of entries you can do. We just like to see improvement every time, and you submit your best run, and when you want to maybe have another entry, then you can enter again, and there's no limit to that. All right, so that is the categories. The theme this year, because it is 2024 and we have our Olympic Games again this year starting in July, we decided to have some robot Olympics. So you will see that all the tasks that the robot needs to do are linked to our sports categories in the Olympic Games. Yeah, if you have another idea, we're also welcome to share it with us. If you have a really cool idea of another sport that we can get the robots to perform, maybe we should have an enhancement or extra competition to see if you can suggest another competition. All right, so that is where it's setting the scene. The virtual gear competition comes in the M3 because M1 we did all the basics. We did the basic navigation, we did the basic chassis building, we did the basic problem solving, and then we introduced passive attachments. All right. Then M2 we did the switch, so decision making and repetition. We did with sensor data, then we did gearing, and then we did powered attachments. All right, so now how does that all come together? And that's what we're going to do in M3. So it's the strategy, the constraints, how to debug, and how to put together a game strategy that you can score the most points in the least amount of time. All right, so that said, there are a whole lot of missions in this challenge. You don't have to do all the missions. You can choose which ones you want to do. But you have to have a robot run in less than or up to 120 seconds. So you get 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes for the robots to run. And I think on Thursday, we'll do some problem solving, and maybe if you have a robot built by then and you can kind of demonstrate, we'll let each other put the cameras on, or you can send me the videos in the meantime. Let's see what the robot can do in terms of solving the Robo Olympics challenge. Okay, so I'm going to, I was going to give an introduction, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm going to skip the introduction part because I think most of you know who we are. So let us go, we dive into game strategy, and I'm going to share my screen. Let me just close this off here, please. Okay, I'm not going to do the introduction, and let's do, there you go. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to ask my team I see there's still people coming in on the lobby, so that's cool. So, all right, here we go. All right, everybody can just confirm. Can you see my screen? Can somebody confirm? Yes. Thank you, Anzani. Thank you. All right. So welcome to M3 and welcome to the Virtual Gear Robotics Competition. I do have a mat here behind me, so I will. We're going to do some real demonstrations probably by Thursday, and I'll set up properly for you so everybody can understand how it goes. Okay. So this M3 is kind of a MOOC with a difference. Today in Unit 1, we're going to prepare a game strategy. How do you identify the problem? And then what is your strategy? You have to have a start, you have to kind of a body of your strategy, and you have an end. And obviously you have to have goals. So if you've decided you're going to score 100 points, then what are you going to do to get 100 points? If you're going to do all the missions, then you're going to say, what are you going to do to get all the missions done in your 120 seconds? Okay, Unit 2, which hopefully we'll do this afternoon, we're going to identify the challenges, the risks, the tasks, and the constraints, and when you consider your solution. Then we're going to do some testing and debugging, and we'll really get into that tomorrow. And it's always the kind of balancing between seconds and scores. All right, so how many seconds for what points do you get? And then you've got to improve your solutions. And then Unit 4 is how do you present this technically? So how do you actually present what you've learned? We used to have a thing called an engineering notebook, which the teams needed to kind of tell us exactly. And so if you are doing robotics as part of your school curriculum, we have had schools using the technical presentation as part of a written work, and your engineering notebook is written work as well. And then the presentation, the verbal presentation of it, is then an oral topic. That's welcome to do that. And if you do that, please let us know. We're always looking for ways to improve this. Okay, so where do we find it? And at the end of the session, I'm sure Tamela will help you and guide you for those who don't know where the virtual gear competition is. This is the M3 portal. And so if you go onto M3, you'll see there's the overview document, the PDFs I will upload at the end of the week. But there it is, Virtual Gear Robo Olympics. Okay, so that's this year's competition. Now, underneath you see the Festival of Friends, that was last year, and we've got videos, and we've got It's a Party, that was 2022, and then we had sample videos, and then we had the Gone Tubing one, which was kind of hindered by COVID, so that was 2021. So we're going to also put a whole lot of the other competitions up here, which you can use then as an extra challenge. All right, so the competition is open from the 1st of February up until the end of November. However, we realize that there are NGOs that are using this competition as part of their holiday program, and we would love to have those teams also included in the competition. So we usually leave it open till about the last week of December, and then we frantically just score. So we will go score on an ongoing basis. I think the final results we'll make available then at the end of the year. Okay, so that's where it is. And so if you click here on the virtual gear, okay, you're going to see here are all the documents. All right, there's 104, 204, 304, and 44. So if you're going to do the virtual gear competition, there are your documents that you need to download and study. And then the mini, there's the mini ones as one of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3. There's the score sheet. So the score sheet is the same for both. And then you have the max, the double, or the single. So the single is half at first Lego League table, and obviously the double is 2. All right, so there are all the documents. You are welcome to download them. If you have any problem downloading them, there's also here a registration link and information. You do need to have that document. You need to register the team so that we have a record that the team is registered, and then we can link it up to your submission of your video. Okay, and your team's nice names, like really encouraging names. Positive. Let's keep it positive, and maybe link it to something Olympics. Maybe give it a give your team a name from maybe that's somebody you've spotted in the Olympics, and if you do very well in javelin, maybe go and find out who holds the Olympic record in javelin or something like that. Okay, be creative. Just don't give me the same old names. All right, so where do you start? Well, you've got to register your team first of all, and that's the link. And then we would really encourage you to read all the documents. Okay. If there are any errors in the documents, please let us know. We are very human and we could have made mistakes, but we'd love to hear from you. All right. The next thing you will do is need to get a mat and all the elements. The mat, you can either have it printed on PVC like Business Point, or I don't think Postec does it. I'm speaking under correction. So we use Business Point here. Or you can just stick it down. It has been designed such that you could just stick it down with insulation tape. That is how it was designed as well. Okay. And the elements that you use are then your ping pong balls, your javelin, which is pencils, your soccer nets, which is a piece of cardboard, your balls that you're going to kick for the soccer and the basketball, and those are ping pong balls. And then you have an ice cream container. So we tried to make it as easily and as friendly as possible. You don't need to buy expensive stuff. Okay. And then the team needs to strategize. How are you going to solve this problem? Well, you won't know how to solve the problem if you haven't read the documents. All right. It is not pie in the sky. You actually need to read the documents. And I am now pleading with you as coaches, will you please let your team members, the learners, actually read the documents so they know what's going on. It's part of their reading exercises. They need to read and comprehend so they really, truly understand. Okay. Then you need to build a robot chassis. And for most of these challenges, the Raleigh Rover would be sufficient with a little bit of modification. And also your driving base for the Spike Prime kit, that will be also fine. All right. Then your team needs to delegate. within the team, who is going to build what and who is going to attempt what programming. I know there's some teams who have really amazing solutions already. And then it's just about programming, test, and rebuild, program, test, rebuild, program, test, rebuild, until you get to a sufficient solution. All right. Now, okay. So in the preparation of a game strategy, you obviously need to identify the problem. Okay. And here comes these 21st century skills. You need to be able to solve the problem. You need to be able to collaborate. You need to be able to teamwork. You need to be able to discuss, not you as the coach, the team. All right. And it's good if you can lead them and guide them, that they understand where they're going. But please do not solve the problem for them. Let them define the problem. Let them identify the requirement. And then they've got to apply these problem-solving techniques. All too often you see one child or one learner taking total ownership of the whole thing, and then it's not the team's effort, it's the single learner's effort. So I would really ask you, rather let the team divide the problem, and then they can each take ownership of at least part of the solution. All right. So I don't know whether you know, but there are various ways to solve a problem. And so all learners on your team probably have different ways of solving problems, and you will find in your team of learners, some of them are very logical, some of them are very intuitive, maybe some are very practical. That doesn't mean that they have all the answers. And I'm asking you to hear out everybody. Please hear out every single learner on how to solve the problem. It's skills that they need to develop without you telling them what to do. Okay. Then critically think. The rules do not say everything. And you are quite right when you ask questions. You have to ask the questions to understand from moving from problem to solution. Creativity, a lot of creativity. How do we do this differently? It's not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not the only way to do it. There are various ways of doing it, and there is a lot of out-the-box thinking required. Okay, so you need some innovation and imagination, and I'll tell you now, innovation is a learning process. It's not to say that everything is going to work, and for your learners, you need to encourage them. If they make mistakes, it's part of learning. It's part of the learning, all right? Collaboration at all times, never solo, ever solo. I would go for a team of 5 or 6 on a team, so they all work together. I think if you get your team too big, you have some free riders who don't do anything, just kind of distract those who are actually thinking and working. So that you also need to, and you as a coach need to monitor that very specifically. The last but not least, it's very easy, or it's very it feels almost too easy to say, I know what the solution is, and I'm just going to go program it quickly, and they go away and they disappear for 3 lessons, and then they say they got it, and then they come back and it doesn't work. All right. Please totally discourage that. It needs to be incremental. Ask them, take a problem, take the solution, and break it up into incremental pieces, and you've got to do it over and over and over again until each piece is fine-tuned. All right. We'll do that today, and we're going to get back to do it tomorrow. And then on Thursday, you are going to show me what you've accomplished. And so we're going to come back to the slide, and you can explain to me how iteratively you solve the problem. Okay. So we're going to solve the problem. I'll tell you now what we're going to solve the problem. So just a bit of history. For those who were with us last year, we had the Festival of Friendship. That was a lot of it. We were opening the bridge, and we were putting down little soldiers, and we were firing the cannons, and it was all very creative. And so thank you to all the teams that participated. It was very out the box, and with a lot of imagination. All right, 2024, we are Robo Olympics, and we needed to ensure that even teams that have never completed before were able to complete at least some of the missions. Okay. And so in your documents that you're going to read, there are going to be objectives. What do you have to do? What are the missions that are stated? But remember, Your team needs to score its optimal points in 2 minutes. And unfortunately, 2 minutes are, and will always be 120 seconds. So it's not that you're going to get more time. All right. It goes go. And when it says stop, that's where the robot stops. Okay. Now, in the team strategy, you've got to decide how are you going to combine the missions. Okay. Now we're going to unpack what the missions are just now. You can only have one robot on the field, though. All right. Only one robot. And all programs must be downloaded onto the brain of the robot. Okay, so when you define a problem, the learners need to consider, so what is given? What is the, we're gonna open the document now, and then you need to kind of, what is given? Where does the robot start? Okay, what does the robot have to do? Where are we going? And what are the options, all right? Like running around a field, you get to 1 cross, 2 cross, 3 cross, and then you finish it. But if you don't get back to the green square, I'm going to show you now, then you haven't completed the mission. That's just how it is, okay? Read the missions and define the problem. Okay, so this is our field. For those of you who've already opened the documents, thank you very much, okay? So the robot must start here at all times. Okay, it starts here. Okay, so the first one was round the track. So it's got to actually follow the line, all right? Follow the line around and get back to base. Okay, so here it says, that is your base and all the pink is your playing field. It's important, all right? That you understand where your playing field is. When it says you must be in base, then your robot must be 120% in base. Okay, so that's the field. Next thing. So what is required? Well, obviously, the robot, the size, it's got to fit into base, all right? The attachments, can they be multifunctional? Or can you use the same attachment for multiple missions? Sensors, how do you actually need to use a sensor? And immediately those who understood M2 and said, well, if we're going to have to follow the line, we definitely need a color sensor, all right? Yes, so there's a giveaway. Okay, now programming, you need to navigate. Then there needs to be, how are we programming to accommodate the attachments and how are we programming to include the sensors? Okay, so that's 3 parts of the programming and you list it, all right? It's not just about jumping into the deep end. Okay, so here's a bit more information. Now we've got objectives. Okay, so if we start here, so you see obstacles, okay, there are 3 cups. So at 1 and 1 and 1, there are upside down cups, okay? Number 2, these are pencils, okay? They're hurdles. Number 3, your javelins are here. And you've got to throw them as far as possible, okay? Your shot put, your target box is here. That's the box. That's the ice cream tub, but we say it's a shot put target box, all right? Number 5 is your soccer target wall, and those are those 2 pieces of cardboard over there. Your soccer ball actually has to hit cardboard. If it doesn't hit the cardboard, then it's not a goal, all right? And 6, you put your shot put ball there, and then your ping pong balls and your javelin. Your javelin must also be in base. All right, so that is kind of the setup. Excellent. All right, so now we've got to do some techniques. How are we going to solve the problem? How do we identify the parts? So we're going to go look at the documents now, but you need to see how many points do you get and how long will it take you, all right? And can you do multiple things at the same time? Now, you can't be moving on the line and still throw your javelins. Why? Because for javelin, you've got to be in base. So that's not going to work, all right? Now, one of the most important things that learners need to learn is to brainstorm, but hear each other out, all right? It's not to talk louder, and it's not to speak over people, and it's not to be disrespectful, but you do need to brainstorm and give everybody a chance. Sketching always works, lots of Koki pens and crayons. Role playing, drama, but positive drama, please, where you can act it out and say the robot must go like this and like that. Then there's a little bit of drama and discuss. Okay, and robotics class is the only one class I think where you're allowed to talk in class, but it's good. All right. All right, you need time to collaborate. And so I'm asking you to kind of really plan your sessions well. Okay, and this becomes part of it. There needs to be time to talk. I would suggest that you allocate a part to a group within a team. So you do this mission, you do this mission, but they need to first volunteer to do that. Okay. I would highly recommend that you have a document that you can write down your decisions. Please do not have all these papers all over the place. Maybe if you have a document monitor, somebody who's got the documents, and so you start each session with a meeting to say what has been documented, what did we decide to do? Because one of the last things you want is every day somebody else coming and then deleting everything that's been done and then starting all over again. It's of zero profitability for the whole team. Okay. Even if you just have a class book, keep all the diagrams, keep all the discussions, keep all the sketches, keep it. It's part of your learning journey, and it'll do you well when you get to the end of the term. And just FYI, we would love to see some of these documents. Maybe we'll have a debriefing session. If you can share some of that, that'll be really cool. All right. Okay, so where to find all the information? It's on the M3 MOOC portal, and I'm going to ask Samela just now to kind of guide you to there. There's the competition details. There's the link to register. There's the competition missions. You can ask, and you can ask again. And I was going to put out 6 asks, but then it ran out of pages. And if all else fails, there is a MOOC Q&A session on a Friday at 3 o'clock, and you are more than welcome to ask the questions. Okay. All right, so this is my example. Well, this is not my example. This example I have. This is from Sylvia. So there's the cardboard. That's what your mission is going to look like. This one has been stuck. Am I right? Yeah, it looks like it. There's your ice cream container, your 2-liter ice cream container. There are your obstacles on the field. There are your pencils lying ting, 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 ting that you've got to go over. There are your shot puts and your soccer balls, and there are your very sharp javelins. Oh my word, they're very sharp. Okay, that's what your field looks like. Now, if you want to decorate your field, you are more than welcome. Absolutely. If you want to start putting Olympic Games signs all over the place, and you're welcome. I almost think we need to have a line of flags or something, but yeah, that wasn't in the original design. Okay, so that's what the field looks like. Now I want to show you just some videos of previous. So this was our cruise control, and I'm trying to think, I think it was 2017. And I want you to watch how the team members, this was all about a boat and rescuing a boat and putting luggage and clearing the deck. This was litter. So this is the litter here, and the robot's got to clean or sweep the litter. This was also laundry. So just watch, just watch. Am I going to play it? Oh, sorry. Okay, let's go again. All right, so that was cruise control. You can see how each group of boys each had their own mission to do. All right, then we had this one. This one was a takeaway, and the robots had to put a whole lot of stuff onto a tray. Now you've got to use your imagination. So different cups. We had French fries made of straws. We had hamburgers made of rolls of insulation tape. We had cups of coffee, of course, and milkshakes. But watch how the team all comes together. Let me play this one to you.
3, 2, 1, go!
Sorry, I think we need to bring that one back because that was a lot of fun. It was a takeaway, and it was yeah, it was interesting. Okay, and this is the team. I see it's 2025. It wasn't 2025. It was actually 2015. So next year we will be celebrating 10 years. This was a power, or maybe we bring this one back as well. So this is a power station. In the days where, and I'll maybe play this video tomorrow, but it was in the days when we had Skype. So 10 years ago, we played this competition on the Skype, and the judges were sitting in America, and we were already then. We couldn't play during the day because we had load shedding. And so it kind of shows you where this competition started. We then used this, and we had Skype sessions, but the competition just grew too much. And so this is why we're doing an upload on the M3 MOOC portal. So you can put your videos on there as soon as you're ready. What we also found is that it is very stressful for the team and then also for the coaches. And so we had many team coaches panicking to say the pressure's just too much. To have a video ready in a given time slot just proved far too stressful. And so we've made it open. So you can upload your best submission. And if you want to replace it during the term, then you update your new and improved one. What we do want is we want a learning curve. We want you to learn, we want you to share, and we want you to improve at all times. And this is part of getting a strategy so that you are well prepared for term 3 for the first Lego League competition. So just as a side note, all 4 of these boys are already national referees. Yeah, they've come a long way, and I'll show you their video tomorrow maybe. So let me just get onto this. All right. Okay, but I can tell you now that a lot is going to go wrong. Okay, I'll tell you what goes wrong in my house often. You see, so we play the game, and we have a cat standing on the table who insists on going in front of the robot, and we try and get him off the field. Life happens. And it misses the target, and the cat is there, and the cat's all over. A lot goes wrong. It's okay. All right. So I'm going to just pause here for now. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask: are there any questions up until now? Did we miss anything? Does anybody need more information before we continue? Anybody? Tamila, do you want to add anything?
No additions from my side. If you do have anyone who'd like to enroll for the MOOC, I would suggest that they raise their hand, and then we can show them.
Okay, all right. Well, it looks like everybody knows where the MOOC is. Oh, excellent.
All right,
Okay,
I see a hand from Enoch, Lusanda, Eva, Esther, Itumeleng. They were waiting for my voice. All right, let's go for it, Enoch.
Well, over to you. Put your camera on that everybody can see you for real. Okay.
Oh, shucks. You mean who must put their camera on?
You, so the people can see you.
You want to see me. That's why you're saying people want to see me, but it's fine. I'll show myself. Anyways.
All right.
Enoch, I've enabled your microphone. Go ahead. You can unmute.
Good day, the doctor and Mr. Tumelo there.
Pleasure.
Enoch, hello.
I'm good. And you?
Great, thank you.
Yes, I've been listening to what the doctor is saying, and then wow, this is good. Everything that we've been discussing, has been discussed there, wow, it's a lot of information, and then we are pushing for it, and then we are ready. It's a new term. Hopefully, we are hoping this term it will be more. We'll be having a direction, more especially on the my request, which I always asking via the site visit, which I'm always asking. And then we are busy with the MOOC with my kids. I think we'll be submitting the reports probably next week. I see M1 and then M2. We are done with the others. They just need to send it via the email. But then my question lies around the site visit, because I told my kids that they are coming this side, so they were so excited to say, "Wow, when are we gonna see them?" Because we want to see them and then ask them a lot of questions. They've written so many questions for you guys, so just wanna know, when are you gonna start with the site visit? Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Enoch. Kana, what's your school's name? Is it Kingswood?
Kingswood Academy, yes.
I see that on our schedule, we indicated that we should be coming on the 30th of April.
Is it? Well, okay.
Yes. I apologize that we did not update you regarding that issue, but we shall include it on our agenda for tomorrow so that you get a formal email indicating that on the 30th of April, the team will be ready to come to visit the school.
Oh, okay. That'll be awesome. Thank you.
And that will be on a Tuesday, no?
Oh,
The last day
yes.
of April, yes.
Yes.
All right. And then what is your other concern?
Via the MOOC that we were doing, okay, we kind of finished with MOOC 1, and then now we busy with MOOC 2, and then what on terms of submitting, we just sending it in the email, right? And then after that, I said
Enoch?
email only.
Enoch, can we keep the questions just about M3, please? All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very
And
much.
then if you need any communication regarding M2 or N1, feel free to email, then I'll take it from there.
Thanks, Tamila.
Okay. Thank
you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Malulega. I see some hands are down. I don't know why. Tuzani Mabuda, your hand is up. Feel free to unmute yourself. Tuzani Mabuda. All right, while you just figuring it out, I'll give Lusanda an opportunity to talk. Your microphone has been enabled, Lusanda. Go for it. I like your t-shirt, by the way, Dr. Host.
Hello.
Hey, Lusanda, all the way from
Hi.
the eastern of the Cape.
Yes, in Tsomo, in the deep rurals of Tsomo in Transkei. That's where I am. Yes, and I've got two questions. I'm just wondering if core values are being judged on this competition of virtual gear. That's my first question. And my second question is on the MET. I just want to know exactly what's the procedure. Can our learners design their own mats, or what's the procedure exactly? Or do we have to buy the mat from UNISA? Or I've got those two questions. Thank you.
So Lusanda, look on the resources, the mat is there. Tumelo will go back to the MOOC site. You can either print a half mat or a full mat. All the specifications are there for sizing, and you can either print that mat on a piece of PVC, or you can print it, or you can stick it with insulation tape onto the back of an existing FLL mat.
Okay. Then, thank you.
Okay, the design is there. Tumelo, can you get to the virtual gear site there?
All right. Virtual gear is found on M3, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right. Let me. You can continue talking while I. Okay.
You're getting it.
No, I think. Let me share my screen so that
Yes.
our
Okay.
participants can, see how I do this.
Thank
You
you.
can see my screen, correct?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Okay. It's M3, go to syllabus. What are we looking for?
There, that one, Robo Olympics.
We're looking for Robo Olympics. So Robo
we go.
Olympics is found under syllabus. So there it is here. 2024 virtual gear competition.
Yeah, there's the match.
Is this the one, the double or the single one?
The double one is two halves together, so it fills a FLL mat. Or if you just want to do half of it, that's a single mat. But it must be the right size, and the definitions for the sizing is in the document.
All right. And then single one. This is just the single one.
Yeah. Okay, and the actual measurements are in one of those documents that you have there.
Materials field setup. I see.
Yeah. The materials and field setup.
All right.
There we go.
There it is.
So there's all the measurements. If you're going to stick it down with insulation tape, there are your measurements. Okay, and then it tells you how to lay it out.
Nice. This is so friendly.
Yeah, so friendly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sylvia. Here we go. Okay, and there's all the things you need to buy. Ice cream sticks or whatever sticks, or just pencils. You can put pencils down. Okay. There we go.
All right.
So Sunday, are you sorted? You okay?
Yes, I am, Dr. House. Thank you. And the core values, do we include them on during the judgment of the game?
It will be noted, but when I will send you some sample videos. What we're asking when you do the video is that you don't focus on the children's faces, but that you keep the focus is on the robot. Okay. And so when you video a robot run, you have to keep the focus on the robot, and maybe you'll get the children's hands in on their voices in, that's fine. But we don't want a whole picture of the whole room and everybody in the audience. We don't want that. We want to keep the focus on the robot. And so your submission is you're going to send us the URL of the robot run. And that recording must include from the start of your 120 seconds beyond the 120 seconds at the end, so that you can give a close-up of the final stages of your robot. So it's really about scoring. And obviously, if your team is not nice to each other, it's going to be picked up and it's not going to be encouraged at all. So core values per se has to be part of how they present their robot match. Yep. But it's only about the scoring of the robot in this competition.
Okay.
And it's about
all right. Thank you. Last question. The time frame. Mm-hmm. It starts from July. What's the time frame?
You have 120 seconds to do a robot match of as many missions as possible. The competition already started on the 1st of February, and we leave it open up until the 31st of December 2024. On the
Oh,
day
okay.
that the school closes at the end of this term, we will do a cutoff and say the winner for term 2 is da-da, and that will be the scoring of term 2. And then we will take all those kind of offline, and then we will do all submissions from that date till the end of term number 3, and we will have winners for term number 3, and then we'll do the same for term number 4.
Okay, so
Okay.
Dr. House, when you are saying we can have as much matches as we can, do I have to link only the best video that I think the learner scored most scores?
Yes, so I'm going to show you now. There's a score sheet, and you are required to share your score sheet for that round as well.
For the round that you're gonna link?
Yep.
All right. Okay,
We need to know that your learners can score their own robot rounds as well. So that one day when somebody asks you what was your score, they don't say 459, where we know that that is not even a possible score for this robot match. They need to know what their score is. And if they touch the robot halfway through, they're going to get a penalty. All right. And they need to do that as well. They can't pick up the robot halfway through. They've got to know it's got to start and where it's got to finish and what the points were. Okay.
Okay then. All right then. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Jamela, I see you've got one more hand.
Let's go for it, Maria. Your microphone has been enabled. Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, your hand is up. We have recognized it and your microphone has been enabled. Go for it. All right, seems like she's unable to talk. I think you may proceed, Dr. Ross.
Thank you. Thanks, Jamela. All right. So let me, once again, I'm going to share my screen as I always do. All right. I'm just asking, is my screen showing?
Yes, your screen is showing.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to unpack. I'm going to show you in your document how do you identify what your robot actually has to do. Okay. Now, remembering that this whole competition was designed that we make sure that you can do navigation, that you can do passive attachments, that you can do powered attachments, that you can do gearing, that you can use sensors, and that you can program the sensors. So everything, there's method behind our madness when we designed this. Okay, so right now, it comes to identification of challenges, the tasks, the risks, and the constraints. All right, we'll get down to sorting out the problems and the testing tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow, and how to present that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. All right, so let's quickly identify. So you've got a problem that you're going to solve through problem solving. So how do you identify the challenges? And this is, I'm coming back to what I said just now. I said, you have to have a book, get 2 or 3 learners on the team, and they need to write this down. There needs to be visible evidence that they understand what the challenges are. You cannot build a one big robot that doesn't fit into base. That's a challenge. Yes, it is a challenge, but you can't. All right. What are the risks? The risks are, and we'll list the risks. What are the constraints? Well, you've only got 120 seconds, and whether you try it now or later, 2 minutes has got 120 seconds. That is a constraint. Okay. And always discuss it within the challenge. All right. Again, I'm coming back to this. There needs to be problem solving. There needs to be critical thinking, creativity, a lot of innovation and imagination. I've got a lot of calls from WhatsApp. Is this working? Can this work? Could this work? Can we use this structure? Well, show me. Show me. See whether it works. Test it out. All right. Also, again, and I'm going to reiterate it again, never solo. Let the team work together. If you have a team of 6, then you maybe have 2 groups of 3, and get each group to do 2 missions, maybe. It's a way of doing collaboration. All right. And then computational thinking. Please do not let the learners sit for 2 days or 4 days and design this huge, wonderful program, and then it doesn't work. all right? Piece by piece by piece. This is the solution. This is the whole solution. We're going to do this part, then we're going to do this part, then we're going to test it. Then we're going to do this part, then we're going to test all three. It's got to be incremental, all right? All right, so what is given? We've got a list of missions. I'm going to go through them now. What is the problem? Well, the problem is that the robot must complete the missions to score, all right? Where are we going? Well, we're always starting in base. It depends where we're going. Okay, so your options are on two ends of the scale. You either do nothing or you do everything. Your solution lies on that continuum. And you, as the coach, need to guide your team learners into finding their solution on that continuum. Oh, and did I say you've got to read the documents? All right. So a game strategy requires that you have a problem with requirements, and then you solve each part of the problem, and then you combine them into a whole strategy. Obviously, trying to get optimal points to win. Okay. I can tell you one of the biggest challenges is your procrastination. Okay. And it's evident that nobody entered the competition in term one. So there's a lot of procrastination. People are like, not yet, not yet. Okay. So challenge is procrastination. A challenge is the size of the robot. Okay. It can only be this big. It's got to fit into base. Your attachments, are they multifunctional? Okay. So another thing, if you're going to add sensors, you actually have to use them. And I'm asking you very sincerely, do not put a sensor onto your robot if you don't use it. Okay, it doesn't add to any prettiness, it adds to the weight and it adds to the load that your robot has to move. All right, if you're not using a robot, do not add it. Okay, it impresses nobody. All right, and then your team needs to be able to understand what is the programming for navigation, what is the programming for attachments, and what is the programming using sensor data. Okay. Tasks. First task you have to do is you've got to delegate. You've got to delegate who does what. You have to be able to discuss. These are all the verbs. Okay. You've got to discuss what you're going to do, and then you choose what you're going to do. But there has to be an order. Then we're coming back to strategy. If you have to do one after the other, otherwise it's not going to work. All right. And there must be an explicit order. So somebody needs to be chief organizing officer, the coup of the team. Okay. You need to know in which order you're going to do your tasks. Now, if your team decides to do it mission 1, mission 3, mission 4, and the other team decides they're going to do mission 3, mission 4, mission 1, well, it's not to say this is wrong. I just need to see that it's a strategy and that it works. All right. And again, you need to keep your progressing documented. And I would almost suggest that you do a scoring sheet. You complete a scoring sheet at the end of every lesson. So before your team runs off out the door and says, bye, man, have a scoring sheet and say, have we progressed? Have we actually progressed in the hour that we were working? Otherwise, it's not wasting. It's not okay. Okay, risks. Don't know whether any of you know this, but there are risks with working with robots. The one is that the robot's going to run out of power. So you need somebody to charge your robot in the morning. I know we usually have after-school robotics. Somebody needs to put the robot onto charge. And they obviously need to be very aware of the load shedding schedule. Otherwise, that is coming to naught. Okay. Number 2, a big risk is the robot is going to be dropped. So never walk with the robot only on the top. 2 hands, one at the top and one at the bottom, and you walk. Okay. Number 3, the program gets lost. So the mitigation is always have yesterday's backup. Whatever you finish the lesson with now, you back that up, whether you put it onto a USB, or you put it onto somebody else's USB, or you put it onto another USB. I don't care. It's got to be a backup. Okay. The fourth risk is that you are misunderstood, and you are misunderstood within the team. So your team needs to talk. A silent robotics class is one where nothing ever happens. Okay. And the biggest risk for me is that one player does all the programming, and then is sick on the day of the competition. It's not okay. All right. You must have a team approach. You must let everybody be part of the team's solution so that if you win something, then everybody has a fair share. Okay. Also, a page that you need to write in your book. What are your risks? What are your risks for you? Okay. One of your risks is the time is going to run out, and then you're not going to have completed. And then you're going to have to submit a video of maybe not the best robot run. Okay. The constraints. The robot is limited in size, even expanded, it's got to fit into base. I'll tell you now, again, there are only 120 seconds and 2 minutes. It's one of those constraints. And the playing field is only so big. You are not allowed to go off the playing field. You are not allowed to leave the boundaries of the playing field. Okay. You need to have time to allocate, to talk. You need to have each part within a group. Please document decisions and please keep all diagrams. And what could go wrong? Lots. Lots can go wrong. Okay. I'm adding this, and I'm going to say this quite a few times. Okay. And the question is it all worth it? So it's just a virtual gear competition. Is it worth it? And I want you as the coaches, to be able to give me a reflection on this at the end of term 2. All right. So what have your learners learned in terms of problem solving, of trial and error? And it's okay to make mistakes. It really is, because that's where they learn. What have they learned in terms of a strategy? What have they learned in terms of mitigating risks? It's all very fine and well to say, well, it's a big risk, and it's a big problem. But how do they mitigate it? How do they solve to avoid the risks? What have they learned about sharing tasks? What have they learned about tackling challenges, adapting to constraints? And one of the things that you need to watch for in term 2 is their perseverance, their optimism, their precision. If it's a hit and run, it's probably going to cause more frustration than good. And practice and practice and practice. My rule is, if a robot can do something 3 times, then we can move on. If it can't do it 3 times, same start, same result, then you're not going to accomplish anything. Oh, there's my team again. I think this video works. Watch this. So this was the party one. Let me see where this video works. No, it's not going to work. Wait a minute. Go back here. No, it's not working. I didn't link it. All right. I will play these videos for you tomorrow, and I'll play that video tomorrow. All right. So where do you get, let me just close this. Where do you get all the details? And I'm going to share here this document. So this is the document that you're going to have to read. Okay. And it's the RoboOlympics document. It's document 3 of 4. And on page 5, you're going to get all the details of what you want to do. And it's all color-coded, thanks to Sylvia. Okay. It says race around the track. Okay. Choose a color sensor, follow the line. You have to follow the line. There's a reason why it's hexagonal. You can't, it's not straight. All right. You've got to drive over the X's and back to base. Okay. So you get 20 points. The robot followed the line and drove over all 3 X's and stopped completely back in base. Well, if it's not completely back in base, you can't get 20 points. All right. Then you would get 15 points because you've followed the line and drove completely over 3 X's, but you didn't get back to base, then you only get 15 points. Okay, 10 points. You follow the line and completely drove over 2 X's, then you get 10 points. And then last but not least, you only get you only cross over. It's about going over the X's. Okay, and here's your little mitigation. It says may follow the line inside or outside of the line and may drive clockwise or counterclockwise. This mission is scored during the match. That seems quite straightforward. All right. Shall we go to the next one? The obstacles. Ha! So now we're still on the track. You have to remove the obstacles from the racetrack. You have to move all 3 obstacles off the X's and bring the cups back to base for extra points. Okay?
Dr. House, can I kindly please stop you a bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kindly please switch off your your camera, because there's a participant who said they can't see your screen. Perhaps they might be struggling on that bit.
Okay.
There we go.
Am I still sharing my screen?
Yes, you are still sharing. Yes, you may proceed. Thank you.
Does that help?
Kindly, please.
Okay.
Again.
All right.
Please zoom in a bit again.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
That's better. All right. So you have 3 obstacles. So if you have all 3 obstacles in the base, then you get 30 points. Okay. If you get
Sorry, Dr.
Yes.
House, I cannot see any sharing on my side. I don't know whether it's only me.
Have you allowed video, incoming video, Lusanda?
No,
Were
I'm
you
not
able
sure
to-
about the.
Were you able to see my previous presentation?
No, I couldn't. Ever since you started this session, this part of the session, I didn't see any sharing. I'm not sure whether I'm the only one. Maybe it's a network issue on my side.
Tumelo, can you just...
On our side we can see, and I see no Kulanga says if you are using a phone you can zoom your screen. Are you using a phone, Lusanda?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Perhaps tap on Dr. House and then tap on where you are seeing a different picture there. It might appear on your side, kindly.
Okay, then. No, it's fine. You can continue.
Don't be sad, Lusanda.
No, I'm not.
All right. Okay,
I'm not
Dr. House,
really.
over to you.
Okay, all right. So this is in the document 304, and we're on page number 6 already. Okay, so again, read it says obstacle is in base, you get 10 points. An obstacle is not touching a red X, you get 5 points. So you might decide to take all 3 off their red X's, then you get 15 points. Okay, there's only 1 off the X, so you're only going to get 5 points, but it's not in base. So this is where your strategy comes in. This is what you have to do. This is how you're going to do it. All right, anybody? Let's try the next one. The hurdles. You've got to get over the hurdles. You've got to drive over the 4 hurdles or pencils. And there are 4 pencils. The pencils must be stuck down with press stick or insulation tape. Excellent. All right, so here we go. If your robot can drive over 1, it's got to start in base. All right. And it's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. If it goes over all 4, whoops, you get 20 points. The robot may drive over the hurdles from top or bottom. Okay, so you can go anywhere you like. Oh, look at that. There is now another rule. The mission is scored during the match. If you can go, did it say it must start in base? No. So you must go over 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 20 points. If it only goes over 3 and then gets stuck, oh, and you only get 15 points. All right. Are we good? Okay. Javelin. Now we come to the fun things. Now we have to throw things. So throw the javelin. Throw the javelin from base. Okay, that's it. And you get 2 chances. Javelins must start in base. All right. Javelin is launched and completely above the racetrack. Okay, so here we go. So it's got to be that line above the racetrack. Okay. If it goes between that one and that cross in there, then it gets 10 points. And if it's launched and it's not in base, but it's in this spot here, it's going to get 5. And it's off the race. If it goes off, oh dear, you're going to get super excited and it's going to go out off the field, then you're going to get nothing. All right. But you have 2. You have 2 javelin tries. Okay. Shot put. You launch the shot put. It's a ping pong ball, by the way, into the target box, which is an ice cream tube or tub. And you have 3 shots and 1 target box, which you've got to, all right. So everybody that lands in the ice cream container, you get 10 points. If it's not, but it's over there, so it's shot in area B, but not in the box, you're going to get 5 points for that. All right, so there's 1 in there. That's 5 points. There's 1 in there and 1 in the ice cream tube tub. That's 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay. Okay, there you've got 3 kind of, but not in the tub. Then you get 15. Right. Your learners must know these rules. Soccer. Oh, soccer is fun. All right. You've got to shoot goals from base. You'll launch the soccer balls into the target wall, and you've got to hear it, obviously. Okay, so you've got 3 ping pong balls that you can shoot, and the 2 target sheets must be stuck against the wall or tissue box, so you must be standing up. All right. And if it hits the wall, you get 10. And if you don't hit the wall, but it's in area A, we'll give you 5 points. Okay. Okay, and then we come to the mission scoring. So here it is. This is what it is. All right. And then you get for each one, you add the scores, you see how many points you get. I would say make a scoring sheet like this. We're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to go over it so you understand it. But it's good that you complete every lesson with one of these. All right. And knowing what you're going to do. And trying to improve your score. So at the end of week 1, you've got 20 points. Great. At the end of week 2, you've got 40 points. At the end of week 3, and plot that. Get them to draw a graph and say by week 10, just before we submit, we need to get our 100 points. What's our goal? What are we going to do? How are we going to get there? All right. I'm going to stop sharing. Are there any questions? Any questions? I think it's also important. Tumelo, you were saying?
I meant to say so far we don't have questions.
Okay. Well, whilst they're looking for questions, I think it's important that you as the coach, you cannot have all the answers. And I think it's a good exercise to teach the learners to actually read the rules. Let them read the rules and they can understand it. You don't have to read the rules for them. They are all in school. We need value for money. They get taught to read and write. They need to read their own rules and to comprehend what they have to do. Tumelo, I see you've got hands.
Yes, Baloyi, your microphone has been enabled. Kindly please feel free to unmute yourself. There we go.
Please read the, afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Ms. Baloyi.
Thank you very much for another session. Can you please read the chat, because the question that Ma'am Anna Marie wanted to ask, she posted on the chat as she was not able to unmute her mic.
Which one? Who wrote? Oh, you mean Anna Marie? Oh, I see.
Yes, thank
My
you.
microphone does not want to unmute. We are new in starting with robotics. Being a high school, must we start with the lower level of the competition and then proceed to the global for high schools, or do we stick to the starting level for now?
You stick to global. You're a high school, you start on global. Yep. Here we go. Thanks to Mela.
Right. And then our sister Lusanda.
Yes, thank you. I just want to ask on the categories of the competition, if I do have the combination of the primary school and also the grade 8s and 9s, is that mean I'm going to register local and global?
Lusanda, have your teams not competed in a competition already?
No, not as yet.
Okay, then the teams with the primary school learners are local and the teams with the high school learners is global.
Yes, what I would like to know, can I register both differently or
Each
as
team,
one team?
No, each team gets registered.
Oh, okay.
So you have primary school learners are in a local team and your high school learners are in a global team.
All right. Now, second question. Unfortunately, I didn't see your screen sharing regarding the reflection, that we need to give a reflection regarding this competition. That means we must reflect on our side as coaches, and then you mentioned all the concepts that we need to look at. I'm just wondering if these concepts that you were mentioning, are they on the MOOC? Because I couldn't get to that part when you were sharing the screen. Like, we need to check at the problem solving, the strategy, and all the mitigations and all that.
I will put all the PDFs of the presentations on the MOOC portal. I will upload it tonight.
All right. And the last question, I'm just concerned as you were explaining the rubric about the competition, you mentioned throwing the javelin, and then I was just wondering which attachment that throws Ganene. Okay, maybe it's my
You must let
assignment.
the learners. No, not your assignment, Lusanda. Your learners.
Okay.
They must figure it out.
Okay, they must come with the solution.
Yes.
And on the soccer as well. Like
Yes.
now I was thinking if the robot now has to be designed in a way of, you know, kicking the ball, or okay, I was just wondering.
No, you can, if they do an arm, you can have a powered attachment as an arm and then hit the ball.
Oh, I see. Oh, then that makes sense. Okay,
But
thank
don't give them
you.
the solution, Lusanda. They need to find it out for themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, just, you know, as an icebreaker, like, you know, just yeah. Okay, thank you.
Let them figure it out. Let them figure it out. Don't do the work for them, Lusanda. Let them figure it out.
Okay. All right, Dr.
Okay.
House, thanks.
Okay. Okay.
And that's it for now.
Are we good?
We are great.
Excellent. I just want to check, Tumela, were there no other people on the chat that maybe put questions on?
The questions were just, will there be a recording of the session? And then I see Anne-Marie assisted Lusanda saying that exit and rejoin, that normally works. And yeah.
Good.
So far, so good. Thank you so much, Dr. Host, for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tumelo. All right. So we're going to have tomorrow. We'll have another 2 sessions, and then on Thursday, I need to see some solutions, or let's have an open discussion on some solutions. I'm also going to try and get a robot built here, and we're going to try and figure out how to do this. I first need to go and buy some ping pong balls. And let's see whether we can come up with a way to solve the problem. And it's an important thing that Lusanda raised. We as coaches do not need to have all the solutions. Please remember that. We do not need to have all the solutions. What we do need is we need to guide the learners in kind of thinking outside the box. And that is why we do M1. We've given them enough frames of reference about what is a powered attachment, what is a passive attachment, how to navigate. In M2, we taught them how to follow the line. We taught them how to use a color sensor. We taught them to build powered attachments. And just FYI, if you think about it, like for a Riley Rover has a cargo loader. Okay, so why don't you build the cargo loader the other way and put it right up top of the robot, and then you can hoy. There we go.
Dr. House.
Yes.
I think we have someone that we need to relieve stress of and anxiousness.
Ooh.
I see Mabunda says, I am anxious and stressed, and then she has that emoji. And then she says, I haven't received the kit.
Okay. Maybe they can unmute and just explain what kit.
Over to you, Mabunda.
Good afternoon, colleagues.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just like listening to and viewing what Dr. House has been sharing there, and you know what I'm thinking. I do not even have a rover to start with, and hence I'm anxious and stressed that I haven't had any. I actually do not have anything to work with at the moment, if I may say it like that.
All right. Are you a teacher? Are you an educator at school?
Yes.
And do you have robotics at your school?
Yes.
Okay, so then you've got robotics kits at school.
No, not yet.
Okay, so I'm not understanding. Not what do you mean not yet? Have you ordered?
Come again, Dr. House?
Do you have robotics at your school?
Yes, we do have robotics, but we actually using cute bots. And you know,
Yeah.
those do not have attachments.
Okay.
Yeah,
So do you,
or maybe we can maybe talk about this after your session.
okay. Okay.
Yes.
We can do that. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, will you stay online after the session?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Sure.
All right. Okay. All right. I think, Tumelo, I think we've run out of hands.
We certainly have run out of hands, Dr. House, and this is an opportunity for us to take a breather and prepare for tomorrow's session.
Okay.
While I still have everyone's attention, I would like to say thank you so much for those who took the time to raise their hands and, you know, write on the chat. And thank you so much also, Dr. House, for wearing that beautiful t-shirt. Hoping to see another t-shirt tomorrow. And yes, this is from us, UNISA Science Engagement Center. Thank you for today.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow. Let me do as I often forget. Let me just quickly stop the recording. There we go. All right.